Hello. So, I am very vindicated. Thank you so much, Commanders, for the attention you've given that video that I shared, and likewise for your kind words in the comments. It was a rough journey to get to this stage, but this is looking really interesting. Now, I spent yesterday's stream really quite exhaustively tested this whole thing. This the whole time travel situation. You can see my notes on screen. I'm going to read through these in a sec, so don't strain your eyes trying to read it. I'm then also going to literally just play a series of highlights from that stream for you to literally see the backup of everything that I state in this. Okay? So, what I did was I wrote at first a much shorter series of statements about what we know about it, and then I highlighted all of the assumptions that I could find in it, and I've created tests to challenge those assumptions. I then kept on updating this what we know statement at the top as I was iterating through to get a statement of truth, and that this is the statement of truth as far as I can deduce, and I'm gonna again give like you can also just go and watch these highlights on my Twitch channel if you wish. So what I know is that with deterministic certainty, if you approach a radicoid site within 88 kilometers, you invoke this time-traveled state where your client loads systems based on a non-real-time date. The date appears to be a static date approximately in early July last year. This does indicate to me that it is possible it is related to work undertaken by Frontier to make the system. However, a noteworthy exception to this is that if you align yourself with the crash site point of interest in the system and ensure the nearest bio site that's 6 kilometers away is aligned but at the back, you'll see a clip of this in a minute. You can prove that only radicoider point of interests invoke this state. The crash site does not. If this was a non-deliberate bug related to the customization of the system, I would expect any point of interest to invoke this state. The fact that it is always invoked at every radicoider indicates to me this is by design. But as I state here, we'll only know for sure if hundreds more of you get on board, go and test it, and then upvote the issue in the tracker. Okay? So you can see here that I devised a couple of tests just to eliminate a few areas that we weren't sure on. So I tested that it required radicoider and wasn't just any planet. I proved that I haven't got clips of this because it's so trivial to prove. If you just land on any planet, it doesn't just happen. So my prediction was that if the whole system is bugged, this would work. So the test is to approach and land on a planet in this system that does not contain radicoider. And the prediction was that if this whole system is bugged, then it would result in the time travel. If it's related to the presence of the radicoider, then landing there would do nothing. And the outcome was that entering the atmosphere of HIP 876216C with no evidence of radicoider on the surface did not invoke the time-travelled state. Next, I tested gliding down to the surface of a planet that does have radicoider present, but not landing anywhere near it, and I was 1 megameter away from any radicoider site. The prediction was that if the whole system or planet was bugged, that it would result in time travel, or if it was pertinent to just the radicoiders, then landing would do nothing. And the outcome was that entering the atmosphere of there, which has many radicoider sites, did not invoke the time travel state, indicating this is triggered by the presence of radicoider. Lastly, I do make a statement here that I'm concerned that it could possibly be a bug just on the basis of when we travel back to, and so I go on the process of calculating exactly how long that was. So I'm now just going to share some clips with you. I'm going to bugger off and let you just watch these. I'll be right back. So what is the ratio between Mars? I think Mars and Jupiter will be the easiest here. 4,332 days divided by 687 is 6. So for every 6 Mars years, there is 1 Jupiter year. right? Or whatever you need to do, mate. So, more than 10 years. Nearly 10 years to go from where it is in this screenshot to back to here. More than 10 years. But obviously it only goes to like there. What's weird is it looks like Earth isn't... No, yeah, Earth starts on one side. It's almost like it is 6 months, isn't it? Because Venus is staying the same. And Venus's orbital period is 224 days. If it was 200 odd days, what would that be of Jupiter's orbit? It goes into it 19 times. 5%. Ish. It's about right, isn't it? Yeah. We could get more accurate, but I don't know if we need to. I think this... So, frustratingly, I didn't realise, but when I click into the game, it stops showing what's on my screen. So when I do that, like, I'm looking in a software called GIMP, and I've got the two different screenshots overlaid each other, and I'm changing opacity, and that's where I'm working out it's about 5% that Jupiter's moved through its orbit. So here we deduce it's about 200 days. It's time traveling back to about July last year. So next up. So I don't think we're going to get... So gliding into the atmosphere of any planet does not invoke this. It seems to be only when you enter the sphere of influence of these new biosites. So, test. If you enter the atmosphere and then manually approach these biosites in normal flight, what happens and when? Prediction. At some distance to the site, the time travel will be invoked. No. This is all wrong. It's just wrong. It's not the predict. This is the prediction. Test. SC glide down and confirm no time travel. Fly to a biosite and watch for when the crazy things happen. Be low. Like 100 meters. And patient. It's going to take a while. It did take a while. It took a really long time. Because I'm in a Caspian that does 260 meters per second, and I wanted to see exactly where it was. I didn't know where it was, so I traveled a long way. But you can shortcut that, you know, giving you the best clips. We got the best clips. I'm going to be pretty facetious. You can jump through this video and fast forward if you need to. So here is the evidence. Oh! Ready? So my prediction is we are about to invoke it. 90 clicks. Nothing. So we were about 80... Oh! 88 kilometers. 88 kilometers. I'm just writing things down. Thinking. Processing. 88. 88 kilometers. Why 88? You clip it. Someone clip it. You do it. You're fucking telling me to do it. You can clip. You clip it. You become the leader of the clipboard. 88 kilometers? Nah. Nah. Nah, I ain't having that. I ain't having that. Nah. You can't tell me that ain't deliberate. You cannot tell me that ain't deliberate. I'm sorry. That is that. We're onto something, guys. We are... You can't... 8 is... Michael... It's... Clip all that. Clip all that. Someone else clip it and put it on Reddit. I ain't posting there, but you can. You cannot... If you know anything about the law of this world, you cannot tell me that 88 kilometers is meaningless. You cannot tell me that. Look, I can't even fucking see the thing. I can't see it. It's nowhere to be... It's over the horizon. Why have I just time traveled when I got within 88 kilometers of this new exobio site? You cannot tell me this is just a bug. I'm sorry. That... Why? Why at 88 kilometers? Who would pick that number? Why not 100? Why not 10? Okay, could it be... Wait a second. Could it be that... Let's do some maths. Let's not jump to conclusions. So first things first, let's validate that we have definitely time traveled. Yeah, we've definitely time traveled, unquestionably. You saw the body just appear from nowhere. So is anyone in here in canon? I've left the canon Discord. Can any... Now, I mean, so just to be clear, A, what's the speed that the DeLorean hits when it has to time travel 88 miles an hour? B, what's the number that's most pertinent across the law of this universe? The number 8. I'm going to stop there, okay? Because I get it. Like, it could be a bug, and this could just be red herring galore, okay? So let's not waste our energy dreaming when we just need to know if it's a bug. But one more case came to mind, okay? So there is this issue that I mentioned at the very beginning, which is, at the end of the day, they could have just ballsed up the whole system, right? The act of placing points of interest on the surface of these planets could be broken, and it's causing this issue. And there's one other place here, the crash site, that is a point of interest that you can approach within 88 kilometers. And that was the question, was, does this do it as well? And you're going to see the outcome of that. It's a bit longer this time because we're approaching from range, but I think it's important that I just provide the full comprehensive evidence rather than over clipping stuff. I think I might have missed some bits already, but I kind of just really excited to get this out. So anyway, here you go. One more boost. Was that space pussy? No, it's not. Okay. Okay. They need to fix this. It's fucking bullshit. Complete bollocks. The ship saying that it was easy to land for ExoBio. Literally was part of their sales pitch. It's complete bollocks. Just venting. Just venting. Embrace the catharsis. The cauliflower people are coming for me. So, prediction. There is a 6-kilometre gap between the crash site and the Radacoida site in a direct straight line from here. So there will be 2 thresholds that we will cross, which will perform a test at. The first threshold will be an 88, 90-kilometre boundary around the crash site, and we'll have a 6-kilometre lead in until we get to the predicted transition zone of the sphere of influence of the Radacoida. So we've got that leeway. I'm going to take off. I hope it's clear what I mean here. So the bio site is directly behind the crash site. It's at 98 kilometers. One, engage! I love it. I fucking love it. Boost 2, engage. The crash site has not triggered it into the window of prediction. Okay. We'll come to a stop and then we'll engage boost 3. I predict at the tail end of boost 3, there's a chance we'll time travel. Bit shy. That's good. Okay, boost 4, I'm certain we will time travel as we hit peak speed. Ready? I'm sorry, I'm not having anyone fucking with me and saying that I'm crazy, that I don't know what I'm talking about, blah, blah, blah. I know how to time travel in Elite Dangerous. It is not related to POIs. It is exclusively related to the Radacoidas. I really don't know how to make that any simpler. Like they do this. They do this. And it's not like a server desync. I've seen a lot of people saying it's a server desync. Now, I'm sorry. I don't think you know what you're talking about. This game doesn't use server time. There's no server time. It's a peer-to-peer game. The only data that we get from the server is the names of people that discovered stuff and the location of things on the surface of planets. So, like, there's a settlement of this type at this coordinate on this planet. This body ID is what it's actually in the background. There is no server time. Like, I just can't stress that enough. Like, there is no server to desynchronize to. So I just don't know why. Yeah, anyway. So there's one other thing that I just think people need to understand about this. You want to escape an interdiction? You could cause it to cancel. What happens when that happens? What happens if I'm time traveled and you're not? And you interdict me, and then I crash into the planet's atmosphere in a planet that isn't there for you. This is just one example, right? Like, another example that we highlighted on the day was, say, for example, the most recent community goal, where so I did this on the stream a few Saturdays back. I was delivering to that community goal in open, and it was really exhilarating and quite hairy. There was a bunch of PvP gankers there that were looking to kill people doing so, you know, power play and all that. And it was a good blast. It was good fun. But now in hindsight, I've realised what I could have done is gone to HIP 87621. I want to be clear. You can jump systems, you can change ships, you can do anything in the game you want. Get out, run around, get back in. You continue to experience the other time until you log out to the main menu and reload your profile. Likewise, we've proven that if you log out within the 88-kilometer radius of the Radicoiders, log out there and then log back in, you will immediately invoke this state. Like, your game will load time traveled. And for the rest of your game session, you might not notice it, but you're time traveled. Anywhere you go, the bodies will be in a different location for you than for people that logged in not within 88 kilometers of a Radicoider site. Also, what we validated was multi-crew. So you can have a situation where you sit like 90 kilometers away from the bio, go into it and out, so you're time traveled, have someone multi-crew into your ship, and they will see it's daylight, and for you it's dark, until you then go back in, and then they get time traveled as well. They get put into it with you. We proved that it's not cumulative. It's a one and done thing. I'll be honest, this does kind of indicate to me that it plausibly could be a bug. So if you go in, come out, it doesn't keep on adding another 200 days on. Like, it's just de facto. So I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes here at the end trying to explain what I think is happening here, okay? Because it's clearly a lot of people are interested in that. How the game works is the galaxy was generated once in like 2014 as a static galaxy. There is no time in the simulation, okay? But gravity is predictable, and all of the bodies have assigned orbital periods, etc. So when you request a system, what you get back is the data of how the system was in 2014. And then your computer winds time forward to the timestamp that the application is currently using. Now, up until now, we had no idea that it was possible to bug the game out, or call it that for now, into a state where it used a non-real-time timestamp. So you always had consistency between players. It would, because there was no way to solve it, it would just go to the current UTC timestamp. But clearly, there is now a way to force the game to load systems based on a timestamp seemingly in the past. It's certainly, based on my analysis, it is around about July last year. Now, I fully accept that this is most probably a bug, okay? But regardless of whether this is a bug in HIP 87621, that statement that you can force the game to load different times is a new piece of information in itself. And I'm raising this with various of the esoteric mystery communities that I'm part of, because we've never considered this as a viable component to the mysteries. We've never known that this could be a thing we should be checking. So it could be. I've had someone verify that P-type anomalies don't do this, but it could be that there's other places and other things that when you go to them, if you're not really diligent and you don't happen to notice that something crazy happens in the sky and you're not playing with other people, you would just never notice that you've time traveled, and then you'd log out and log in and it would reset and you wouldn't notice. So I don't want to go too far down that path. I do on stream. I love talking about things like Raxler and all the mysteries, the misjumps, all that stuff. I don't want to pollute this with that here. At the end of the day, it is probably a bug. We will not know unless we do what the developers have asked us to do and tick their little button on their issue tracker. Okay, so if you want to know if this is the bug or not, I need you to take action and upvote it. Just upvote it, and they will tell us if it's happening by design or if it's going to be fixed. The one thing I would say to any mystery hunters out there that are looking into things like Raxler or the Dark Wheel or any of the other transient mysteries like the landscape signals, I did test the landscape signal in the time traveled state. It's exactly the same. And we need to start being very diligent about checking horary mode. I suggest that we start using Sol as an astronomical clock. That's what I did for this. It works really well because you've got the contrast of the orbital ratio between Jupiter and the inner bodies. You can quite accurately ascertain what's happened. Also, I didn't show it in this, but when you zoom right out maximally, you've got Sedna and Persephone, which take millions of days to orbit. So, like, that's how I immediately knew it wasn't years, because you can see at that high level that those two bodies don't even move at all. Um, yeah, like, it's a really exciting thing. I appreciate it's probably a bug. Nonetheless, it took a lot of diligence to identify this, and I'd appreciate if anybody else could back it up by upvoting it. O 07 Commanders, take care.